Wait, you're in the wrong. It's got to be no, like.
Well, before you go live on like.
It's live.
You're live.
Yeah, we had the camera facing the wrong way. Hey, Facebook Livers, listen, I'm here with Mr. Universe, natural Mr. Universe,
Over
Chris
35.
Zaino, over 35. He's now 65. Looks amazing. Yeah, well over
Fasting.
35. Fasting. But look, so I brought you, 2 days ago. If you haven't watched it, I held up the Scientific American article, the research showing that calories in, calories out, it's not the way to go. So, Chris, you've heard this,
Yep.
right? Where people go, hey, I just exercised 2 hours.
And I burnt.
I burnt this many calories,
Yes.
so therefore tonight I can eat whatever I want.
I burnt this many, so I could eat this. That's only like half of it, and I'll be fine.
And I'll be fine, right? What did you say? If the body knew the math.
No, but the body didn't read the textbook nor your calculations.
If weight loss were as simple as calories in versus calories out, then, everyone would be losing weight today, but it's not so simple. I brought this man on because, you know what? I got a lot of hassle for this. There's these exercise enthusiasts out there, they really didn't get it,
Right.
So I'm hoping that we can get this guy to understand, get you to understand that, look, I mean, obviously exercise enthusiast here, right? But you're not exercising to knock calories down so you can eat different.
No, absolutely not. And what Dr. Dan was saying correctly, because just from my own personal experience, we tend to get into a dogma. And a dogma is
Old way of thinking.
old way of thinking, and you believe it, and it's fragmented, meaning that there are some truths in it. I'm not saying it's totally thrown out, in the garbage, but there's some truths. But when it comes down to this simple equation, like I love the BMI equation. It's like I've been clinically obese for 30 years, compared to that. But when you go to these certain
triceps are obese.
these certain dogmas, you really find out that it's not working. And then because that's not working and that's your belief system, you're going to start to blame other circumstances. And you're like, well, it is my age. It is my genetics. Maybe it's my hormones.
Classic.
And then you go to the doctor. I want thyroid medications because we want to blame everything else, but we're missing these blind spots.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think it's amazing because in the study they literally said, no matter what people did, their activity level, men around 2,500 calories, women around 1,900 calories, whether you're the couch potato in the U.S. or from the North Tanzania tribe chasing down animals, 2,500 calories.
Why don't you tell that story?
Yeah, it really is amazing. I mean, on the thing, I actually held the article open, and they were exposed to that already. That they literally the most accurate way of testing how many calories you burn, they did. So when they went into this North Tanzania tribe, they were astounded that these people chase down animals all day long. Imagine the calories that they burn. If we could only test it. They did. And, of course, around 2,500 calories. That was it.
I'm laughing about the people that they chase down the potato chip bag.
Yeah.
That starts to
2,500 calories.
I mean, we're talking
You're
about
still burning 2,500 calories.
Bears.
The farmers are taking
chasing
it a lot.
animals to tire the animal out.
Yeah, but that's a good point, actually. All right, so let's talk about, and we're getting some questions in. And by the way, share this because people need to hear this message, literally. And I brought him on because I'm like, all right, they're going to take this message better from him than me, maybe. I don't know, but Mr. Universe, I want to talk about some of the benefits of exercise because I think that from that last video, people were like, so, do you not like exercise? I love exercise. There's a ton of benefits to exercise. And I say weight loss today is more about hormones than it is about anything
100%.
else. Hormone optimization. Exercise is the cherry on the top. Exercise can help you not just lose some weight, but make you healthy because of what it does for hormones. Talk about that.
Well, I think you hit it on the head. It's a hormonal issue because I could tell you, let's say if I'm trying to gain weight, I have a phase of gaining weight. I know that might be your goal, but good weight, right? There's a certain point in time where if I'm eating too many carbohydrates, my body becomes insulin sensitive. If I'm getting or leptin resistant.
Right.
So in that moment, you can't just stuff more food. Because what happens, the more I would eat, the more I would train. I get to a level where it would be, I'm not gaining muscle anymore, I'm gaining more fat.
Yeah.
But the same happens when I'm dieting down for a show or losing weight. I can start losing weight, I'm losing fat in the beginning, right? It's going, then all of a sudden, the weight, more is muscle, or I'm stagnated, and it really becomes, and the only thing that happens, it's not a calorie problem, because I could even lower the calories more. How come I could lower the calories and not and the body doesn't lose, it doesn't make sense because it comes to the hormones.
Yeah.
The growth hormone, the testosterone, the estrogen. Because if you have a lot of fat, you're producing more estrogen, and it's this whole hormonal cycle in the body that causes these issues. But if you're intelligent enough and you have the right guidance and wisdom, especially knowing your body, you start to see the signs, and then you know how to counteract them.
No doubt. Hormones at the cellular level. Tomorrow night, 6:30 Central Time, you all are invited, actually, to a talk we're doing right here. Houston, Texas. Absolutely.
The best Houston, Texas. Place in the world.
Where's the talk, just in case we have some locals?
It's at the Church Project at 6:30 p.m. sharp. I mean sharp, as in Dr. Dan Pompa starts talking at 6:30. So,
sharp.
So for those of you out there, it's 6 p.m. sharp, and then we'll see you there. So please make that. It's for you. It costs nothing. We have... you could bring your kids.
We're going to be Facebook Living it.
Yeah.
We're going to be Facebook Living it. So you can tune in right here. It's 6:30 tomorrow. Central 6:30 Central. We're going to be Facebook Living it. So be there, be square. But what you're going to learn is about what we're talking about. Weight loss is about hormones. But what's happening today is people's cells are so toxic that literally their cells can't hear the hormones, and therefore they can't lose weight. They don't feel well. They don't have energy. They have brain fog, and it's a cellular issue. You'll hear me say this again. To get well, you have to fix the cell. You're going to learn that tomorrow night, because a lot of the problems that people are having, really, I mean, it's not about, if it was only so easy just to cut calories or exercise calories down, of course, the world would be thin. But here's the confusion, I think, and when people cut calories, they do lose weight at first.
Right, always.
Right? So therefore, in their mind, they say...
adapting.
Or when they first start exercising, they go, I'm burning calories, and they do lose weight.
Body adapts to the change, and then the body says, well, wait a second. Okay, for survival, and then it starts catching up. It starts figuring it out really quick.
Yeah, no doubt. So I had a trainer ask a great question, a trainer who I really respect, and he said, Dan, but when I'm doing my high-intensity stuff, I know I burn at least 1,000 calories, and one thing, Kevin, I'll use your name, is that, first of all, how do you know you're burning 1,000 calories, right? And even if you did, genetically somehow the max, according to that study, is about 2,500. But high intensity, what does it do? How does high intensity exercise help weight loss?
Well, it's hormones. It's the hormones it releases. It hits the growth hormone, the estrogen, and then cortisol, right? Because if you go long and extended, that's when the cortisol starts kicking in. So the high intensity gets you peaked without having that afterburn. And then it's the afterburn that continues after
for like 36 hours
at least.
Growth hormone goes up. These things happen, and then you start burning your fat to replace the stored sugar that you burned during the exercise.
And let me blow your mind for a second here. How about someone like Dr. Dan? He'll actually be fasting, not eating, killing it in the gym, and still making muscular gains.
When you exercise fasting, you get this massive growth hormone rise, and then now you're optimizing your muscle repair and therefore growth and all that good stuff. Weight loss is more about hormones than it even is the exercise that you do.
I'm hearing efficiency here. Like what you're teaching is making the body efficient to be able hormonally and everything to get that result you want, right? Because that was a perfect example. Like you're setting the body up in a hormonal state to make the results happen.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, that's the key. I have to point out that this guy named Lal DeMoss just joined us.
Yes, CalJam. When's CalJam?
CalJam, man. Doctors watching. We get a lot of doctors watching.
Well, no, doctors watching. It's the public. This isn't just for chiropractors. This is an experience. That's all I'm going to tell you. And just go find out. It's a beautiful. It's California, right?
Yeah, right outside us, Santa Monica, San Diego, up an hour and a half. Santa Ana, that's the one I couldn't come on. Billy's dying right now when he's watching this. No, but it is quite the experience. So what's he saying?
No, he's just saying he's appreciating. He's
absolutely.
Share it out, Billy, please, or Lyle, should I say.
And hey, if you have any questions regarding this issue of exercise, weight loss, and calories, fire away. Share this with your friends, no doubt about it, because this is an important message. I see a lot of
Costa Mesa, Warren. It's Costa Mesa, California.
There you go. It is the greatest.
It's the best
seminar. I'm going to put it out there as the health seminar. I mean, everyone needs to be there, no doubt about it.
Very disruptive.
Very disruptive, no doubt. Look, this message about calories is a message that's disruptive, but I think ultimately what people are striving for today is just to feel better. You know, I mean, honestly, they just want to feel better. They don't want to necessarily, put on the muscles like you or run a race like someone else or this. They just want to stink and feel better, man. But look, we're talking about hormones as being the answer for real weight loss, but it's also the answer for why people don't feel well. Tomorrow night at 6:30 Central Time, I'm going to be talking about that because, look, ultimately, if you don't feel well, that's a cellular issue, and that's the epidemic being driven by toxins. Matter of fact, at CalJam, we're going to be talking a lot about that because toxins are why people don't feel well, why people can't lose weight, why people have brain fog, and it's a cellular issue. Most people are doing detox downstream. It's a cellular issue.
Hey, Dan, we have a question from Adam, right? Adam, yeah, he's talking about, just do a little bit of information on intermittent fasting. I know you could go for days on that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if weight loss is about hormones, then intermittent fasting.
Let's do that because Dr. Damien told me that and your son's done it. I've seen the results of it. Let's first talk intermittent fasting for weight loss goal, and then flip it on intermittent fasting on actually gaining lean muscle because I've seen your son do it. He's gained like 20 pounds, didn't he?
Because how could that be? How could you gain muscle intermittent fasting and yet lose weight intermittent fasting and really fat? So it's about hormones. What happens in intermittent fasting, and studies show, you get, on average, ladies, about a 1,300% increase in growth hormone, versus males, 22 to 2,400% increase in growth hormone. So it's optimizing hormones, and what also studies show is the cell becomes more sensitive to the hormones. Remember I said that. The reason people don't feel well, can't lose weight, is because the cell is inflamed and can't hear the hormones. Intermittent fasting actually helps the cell hear hormones. So now you hear hormones like insulin that are telling you to bring the glucose in the cell, not to store fat. You're hearing hormones like leptin telling you to stop eating and burn your fat. You're hearing hormones like T3, thyroid hormone. So your cell's now able to hear the thyroid hormone and make you more efficient at the cellular level.
So stop right there. T3, because my patients coming in, that's the hot word. That's the hot word. They go to their practitioners and it's always about their thyroid. So you want your cell, it doesn't matter how much exogenous thyroid give you, it's not going to work if the cell's not hearing.
I give this example. How about this comment here? Zaino, your arms are bigger than my thighs. I think they're bigger than my head. Are they bigger than my head?
It is bigger than your
head.
Look
at that tricep. God, that's unbelievable. The camera guys are laughing. Okay, so what was the question now? Don't distract me with those things.
I just got some brain fog from my arms.
I know.
No, we're talking about that. Where the outside-in approach of exogenous testosterone therapy, estrogen therapy, thyroid.
It's in vogue. It's in vogue right now. Even giving hormones, even bioidentical hormones, right? Here's the analogy. Those who have kids can understand this. You're shouting at your kids. In the beginning, it works. The kids listen. They're like, oh my gosh, mommy and daddy are really mad. Does it continue to work? The answer is no. The kids start to tune you out more and more to the point where it's not working anymore. That's what's happening to our cells. We're throwing hormones at it. Everyone's doing it, right? It's in vogue. But the answer isn't that. The answer is getting the cells to hear the hormones you have. People that live longer don't have high hormone levels. They actually are very sensitive to the hormones they have. So we want to whisper at our kids. We want to whisper at ourselves. So again, that's the message we're bringing tomorrow night. So you Facebook Livers, if you just joined us, tomorrow night, 6:30 Central Time, you can join us. We're going to be teaching on these concepts in depth. And join us Facebook Live. So we're going to be doing that. So just be on Facebook Live. And if you are anywhere in this area, tell them this area because you can come actually live if they want.
It's the Woodlands, Texas. If you guys never been here, it's the paradise of Texas.
Oh, it's where the Super Bowl is, actually.
Oh, by the way.
By the way.
There's a little game happening.
Where we are, there's a little game happening. Is it happening now? No, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So it shows you we're like really intense football fans. So, but all right.
6:30 p.m. The Church Project. Be there. We'll also be Facebook Living it, but it's 6:30 Central, so we're Central Time.
We didn't answer the second part of the question. So putting on muscle.
So that was losing it. Now let's put it on.
So my son.
Use your son. Yeah, use your son.
So look, he was, Dad, I'm killing it in the gym. I'm eating all these calories, et cetera, doing what most bodybuilders would do, and I'm not gaining muscle. I was telling him to intermittent fast, and I was telling him to, not eat so much, eat in this window. Yeah. He wasn't listening. I sent him a video from these guys. Have you ever heard of the Hodge twins? Google these guys. Yeah. If you don't like F-bombs because I want to bring them on Cellular Healing TV.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like guys, you know, if you're, you know, you see, like, I know that's the cool thing to be tatted up and cursing, but like Jerry, let me see. Jerry Seinfeld said this. I'm digressing, but you got to hear this.
I like this.
They asked Jerry Seinfeld, "How come you don't curse?" It was Louis C.K. saying, "You know, you don't curse." And Jerry Seinfeld said this. He's like, "If I need to say a curse word to make a joke worth, it's not classy enough for me to use it."
Love it.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they do drop a lot of F-bombs. However, he got the point. So there's these twins. I mean, these guys are ripped, and they're talking about when they were eating 5-6 meals a day and pushing in the calories. And they said, now we're eating in this 6-hour window. Mm-hmm. And they said, look what happened to us hormonally. And they saw the results. My son saw the results. Literally, in 3 to 4 months, he put on 30 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
By eating less often. So here's my saying. Don't eat less. Eat less often. Optimize your hormones. Maximize your growth hormone, your anabolic state. It's all about the recovery, and that's what the hormones do for you.
And I'm sure this could go into even to the whole anti-aging thing, you know. And this is a huge part of that as well. On what you said about it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Because if you want to age slower, look, when you look at all the studies on living long, it always is eat less. People who eat less, but we know that if you eat less, then it's less and less and less and less. It doesn't work. You can't just push food away, right? So it's not about eating less. It's eat less often. And at the end of the day, you may have less calories. But the point is if you don't eat to full, we talked about this on your video. If you don't eat to full, your body will eventually think it's starving. It will slow down fat metabolism, eat its muscle. It's not good. So when I eat like a king. I eat till full, and I make sure I take in those calories so my body never thinks it's starving. So don't eat less often, and live longer, according to studies.
Hey guys, hit that like button right there.
Yeah,
show us a little bit of love. Hit the share button. Show us some love, because this is stuff. You see, this is disruptive, and people need to know this. This is the new stuff. Just like chiropractic. You know, I'm a chiropractor like Dan's guy. So this is something where it's thousands of years old. But it's not the current dogma, and the current dogma is getting 83% of our population dead with heart disease and cancer. So if you want to live that life, to be the 1 out of 6 that lives an amazing life, this is the stuff you need to share.
This guy, he asked me a great question. He says, Dan, going to talk. He says, Dan, is there a specific person or group whose guide to how intermittent fasting lifestyle you agree with? You know, Jason Fung, cancel. Sorry, guys, I'm not the techno guy. Jason Fung and Jimmy Moore. They just wrote a book called The Complete Guide of Fasting, and I think it's spot on. Jason Fung is a scientist doing a lot of fasting, intermittent fasting, and I think he really has a lot of the science. I've had the privilege of interviewing him on Cellular Healing TV, which you can get to from my website, drpompa.com, and just a breadth of knowledge, man, I'm telling you. And I'll tell you the how-to, Adam, even partly too. It's simple. You know, just eat in a smaller window. Maybe it's from 1 to 5, 1 to 6. Don't eat too close to bed. Give it 3-4 hours.
Okay, 3-4 hours. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just give that time. But let's say that you're a person who likes to eat in the morning. Okay, don't eat when you first get up, perhaps. Maybe your first meal's at 10. Maybe it's at 11. And then maybe your last meal's at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Some people eat in a much tighter window than that. Some people eat in like a 4-hour window. So the choice is yours. I mean, I love like the Europeans, right? They eat their big meal in the middle of the day, and then maybe a little meal for dinner, and you know that's it. I mean, they don't eat the big breakfast. And ancient cultures, really the same thing. So, yeah, that's a great question. So, is there a specific person? Okay, that was the same question. Sorry, Adam. When I had the opportunity to visit a tribe, I talked about the tribe north of Tanzania in the Scientific American article, but I was there, and this was the first time I actually experienced intermittent fasting. And it was a tribe that was a hunting-gathering tribe. So the men would go out in the day, and they would go off hunting all day. And I got there, and I said, where are all the men? There was no men. They got up at 4:30 in the morning, and they were off hunting. And they go out all day, zero food, only to come back, you know, later in the afternoon, and the women were off gathering, and then they come back and they eat that one big meal. So 2-3 days a week, I also only just eat one meal. Yep. You know, but you know that was the first time I was exposed to actually intermittent fasting. So you know, the American Indians, I mean, a lot of these tribes, that's what they do. it is a cultural thing, thinking we have to eat 5-6 meals a day. And I'm going to open that up because I'm going to do another Facebook Live on that about the, eating all these meals a day that ages you much faster.
Stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, send this out, share this video, and thanks for being here, man.
No problem.
Yeah,
Always appreciate it. Thanks
so
much.
They're going to hear the exercise things from you, so I know it. So I came all this way just for that. No, not really. We're doing a seminar tomorrow, but that was a good opportunity to answer those questions that we had on the calories. You can't burn calories with exercise, man. Can't use that excuse anymore. Go pick up that Scientific American article. I'll see you on the next Facebook Live, guys.